how's it going, everybody? My name is Aaron J. Holt, back again with another React video. Now, I meant to upload a React video last week. It was going to be of Lindsey Sterling's hair hanging vlog, but unfortunately it was copyrighted and it was blocked as soon as I posted, so I had to take it down. So hopefully this will make up for it, guys. I hope you understand. Now, I am not a big fan of politics. In my opinion, politics is just meaningless, hollow, sweet talk, followed by complete denial of personal responsibility. Politics in a nutshell, you know? And there are few politicians that I like, but one of the few politicians that I do like is New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I honestly think she's cool. I honestly believe that she is trying to do the right thing, and I honestly wish there would be more people in government like her. You know, she started as a bartender, and now she's a representative in New York. So I honestly think she's pretty cool. And so the video I would like to react to today is Top 10 Times Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Was Badass. It was uploaded by Ms. Mojo nearly 10 months ago, and it has over 500,000 views. So I'm subscribed to both Ms. Mojo and Watch Mojo, and they always post good videos. So I'm hoping for something good right here. So let's check this out, guys. Okay, full screen. There we go. In 3, 2, 1, action.
She's the notorious AOC, and she came to slay. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was badass. For this list, we're looking at some of the most memorable moments in the career of this U.S. representative for New York's 14th Congressional District, whether they're Twitter clapbacks, eloquent speeches in Congress, or appearances at events. Number 10, her first speech on the House floor. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez assumed office in January of 2019, and since then has become a fixture in the political world.
I spoke with Mr. Obed today over the phone. He and air traffic controllers like him across the country missed their first paycheck this past week.
But her very first speech on the House floor was a remarkable one.
During the
shutdown. She showed the sort of
Yeah.
representative she was going to be for her constituents. The speech actually broke records on C-SPAN's Twitter, amassing 1.6 million views in just a few hours.
And it is terrifying to think that almost every single air traffic controller in the United States is currently distracted at work because they don't know when their next paycheck is coming.
In her statement, she commented on
the government
President
shutdown
Trump's
was
border
35
wall,
days
as well as
long.
The government shutdown,
The longest
calling
government
it a,
shutdown in
quote,
U.S. history.
subversion of our most basic governmental norms.
And the truth of this shutdown is that it's actually not about a wall, it is not about the border, and it is certainly not about the well-being of everyday Americans. The truth is, this shutdown is about the erosion of American democracy and the subversion of our most basic governmental norms.
Number 9, her speech at the Women's Unity Rally.
Are you all ready to make a ruckus? Are you all ready to fight for our rights? Are you all ready to say that in the United States of America, everyone is loved, everyone deserves justice, and everyone deserves equal protection and prosperity in our country?
Early in her term, AOC was not just making impassioned speeches in the House. She was also making appearances at public rallies to share her views in
And
front
I'm glad
of
she
massive
got
crowds. She attended
reelected
the 2019 Women's
she
March
has a second
and spoke
term
at the
now.
Women's Unity Rally,
So that's
where
real
she talked about
cool.
the civil rights movement and attempted to empower everyone in attendance to use their voice for good.
Justice is not a concept we read about in a book. Justice is about the water we drink. Justice is about the air we breathe. Justice is about how easy it is to vote. Justice is about how much ladies get paid.
Despite being new to her role at this point, she was already making iconic quotes, saying, quote,
Justice is about making sure that being polite is not the same thing as being quiet. In fact, oftentimes the most righteous thing you can do is shake the table.
Number 8, the Michael Cohen hearing photo.
Oh, I remember
Treasure
this.
document still exist? I don't know. I had
Matthew
asked David
Calamari.
Pecker for them.
So
That was
you would
all
say the
over the
person
late
who
night
knows
shows.
The whereabouts of these documents would be David Pecker.
David Pecker, Barry Levine, or
Yeah, Seth Meyers went all in on the
February of
David Pecker joke.
2019, Michael Cohen, who had previously worked on President Trump's legal team, appeared in front of the House Government Reform and Oversight Committee.
In fact, the Washington Post reported on the Trump Links Bronx course in an article entitled "Taxpayers Built This New York Golf Course and Trump Reaps the Rewards." That article is where many New Yorkers and people in the country learned that taxpayers spent $127 million to build Trump Links.
Representatives were given the opportunity to question the lawyer on his experience involving the 2016 election, and they did not hold back. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did an expert job when her chance came to grill him, but arguably the best thing to come out of the hearing was this epic photo of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib, where they appear to be judging Cohen with everything they've got.
And would it help for the
I
committee
actually-
to obtain federal
I actually didn't
tax
see that
returns from the
photo,
president
so-
and his company to address that discrepancy?
I believe so.
Thank you very much. I yield the rest of my time to the chair.
Number 7, her speech about student loans.
Families and people in my generation, older and younger, are not buying cars, we're not purchasing homes, we are not building families because of the scepter that student loan debt represents on our generation.
One of the things we love the
Student
most
loan
about
debt
AOC
is a
is
pain
how
in the
relatable
butt.
she is.
I'm
And in this
still
speech,
paying off
we were
my
able
student
to
loans.
identify with her even more when she talked about the fact that she still has student loan debt.
Because what we tell 17-year-olds all the time is that you are not old enough or responsible enough to drink, you are not old enough or responsible enough to vote, you are not old enough or responsible enough to serve in our military, but you are old enough and responsible enough to take on $250,000 worth of debt.
Along with Ilhan Omar, Pramila Jayapal, and Bernie Sanders, Ocasio-Cortez was
Yeah, Bernie
introducing the
Sanders.
College for
Bread
All
is supposed to
Act,
be
which
free.
would get rid of student
Medicare
debt and
for
make
all.
higher education more accessible for all Americans.
And it was literally easier for me to become the youngest woman in American history elected to Congress than it is to pay off my student loan debt.
She commented on the fact that it took her doing something that was nearly impossible, being the youngest woman in American history elected to Congress, to have a chance of paying off her debts, which is obviously not something that can be expected of the average person.
Because
Yeah,
in order for me to
myself
get a
included.
chance
I have no
to
interest
have
in going into
healthcare,
politics.
In order for me to get a chance to pay off my student loans, I had to do something that was nearly impossible. And I don't think that that is the bar through which a person should be able to access education, healthcare, and a bevy of other things that should be considered human rights.
Number 6, her Green New Deal speech.
This
Yeah.
is not an elitist issue. This is a quality of life issue. You want to tell people that their concern and their desire for clean air and clean water is elitist?
Along with being introduced by AOC, along with Senator Edward J. Markey,
I believe that the Green New Deal
sparked
is possible,
discussions
you
on the
guys.
future
I'm
of
just gonna
climate
throw that out
change
there.
in the United States. However, some critics claim that the plan, which involved minimizing the dependence on fossil fuels as well as greenhouse gas emissions, was a, quote, elitist one.
Tell that to the families in Flint whose kids have their blood is ascending in lead levels. Their brains are damaged for the rest of their lives. Call them elitist.
With her trademark fiery passion, Ocasio-Cortez
Yeah.
came back at the critics, citing examples
You have
from
to
the
admit,
Bronx and
like,
Flint, Michigan,
when she gets
to prove
riled
that
up,
it was actually lower
you better
income
stay out of her
populations
way,
who would be the greatest
'cause,
beneficiaries
yeah.
of this plan.
This is serious. This should not be a partisan issue. This is about our constituents and all of our lives. Iowa, Nebraska, broad swaths of the Midwest are drowning right now.
Number 5, taking on President Trump.
Well, you know, the president is from Queens, and with all due respect, half of my district is from Queens. I don't think he knows how to deal with a girl from the Bronx.
AOC doesn't spend a lot of her time focusing on Donald Trump, but when she does comment on him or defends herself after an attack, she does not hold back. Anderson Cooper asked if she thought Trump was a racist, and she quickly responded in the affirmative, backing up her claim with a wealth of examples.
The president certainly didn't invent racism, but he's certainly given a voice to it and expanded it and created a platform for those things.
Do you believe President Trump is a racist?
Yeah, no question.
When the president tweeted calling her a, quote, whack job, she responded by calling him a criminal who, quote, betrays our country. When he tweeted a post that essentially told her to go back where she came from, she clapped back that the country she came from was the United States of America.
So I am not surprised when the president
Yeah,
says
why don't you make your
that
country
poor
better.
sitting
She's
members of
trying.
Congress should, quote, go back to their own country when he has authorized
And
raids
that-
without warrants on
What Trump did with there, saying go back to your own country,
Number
that was
4,
despicable.
Her game on campaign financing.
I'm going to be the bad guy, which I'm
Oh,
sure half the room would
I've
agree
seen
with
this.
anyway. And,
Yeah.
And I want to get away with as much bad things as possible, ideally to enrich myself and advance my interest.
One of the things that AOC does best is managing to condense complex issues into more understandable packages.
She
so
gives
that
good
her
examples.
followers can understand them, even
And
if
I
they
love
don't
how
have
she's
in-depth
passionate
knowledge of the
about
issue.
everything she talks
So
about.
is there anything preventing me from holding stocks, say, in an oil or gas company, and then writing laws to deregulate that industry and cause, that could potentially cause the stock value to soar and accrue a lot of money in that time?
You could do that.
She did this expertly in a speech about corruption and campaign financing, playing a game where she asked questions at the House Committee on Oversight and Reform.
Yeah, there's just almost no laws at all that apply to the president.
So I'm being held, and every person in this body is being held to a higher ethical standard than the President of the United States.
She managed to make her point by backing everyone into a corner, basically proving that the system was broken and needed an overhaul as soon as possible.
And it's already super legal, as we've seen, for me to be a pretty bad guy. So it's even easier for the President of the United States to be one, I would assume.
That's right.
Number 3, her defense of her clothing choices.
When Sonia Sotomayor was having her confirmation hearings, the consultants kind of told her to wear a nude nail polish because wearing a bright color would kind of attract more scrutiny. And so she wore bright red nails. And I figured, why not?
Journalist Eddie Scarra tweeted a photo in 2018 showing AOC walking down a hallway dressed for work. He asserted that the clothes she was wearing made it clear that she wasn't actually, quote, a girl who struggles, as she purports to be.
And that kind of economic stress and living through it and enduring past it really showed me in a visceral way what it's like to be an American in a way that I don't think most public officials understand.
While Scarra eventually deleted the tweet, AOC kept her receipts and called out the journalist for his misogyny. She acknowledged that women's appearances are critiqued seemingly no matter what they wear, and that people would be taking pictures of her, quote, backside, whether she came in looking put together or wearing a sack. She also had to defend her being well-dressed for a magazine shoot, schooling her critics on the fact that she doesn't actually keep the clothes she's wearing. Number 2, her reaction to the Breakfast Club video. When AOC took up her position as a congresswoman, one
She
of her
did that when she was
detractors
in college.
posted a 2010 video from her college days where she's dancing joyfully, recreating moves from the Breakfast Club. The attack totally backfired, however, because most viewers were charmed by the video rather than thinking it took away from the congresswoman's gravitas. And AOC herself was quick to make light of the situation, filming a new video of her dancing outside of her office, showing that even women in power can have a little fun every now and then. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Knock down the House. The difference between an organizer and a strategist, and her reaction to winning her campaign.
Democrat Joe Crowley is leading the fight against Donald Trump. There is nothing about the path forward here.
It's like, is bullcrap one word or 2?
Times, commitments, 0 times.
He said, this is our government. It belongs to us. So all of this stuff is yours.
Her campaigning shoes. The wear and tear on her shoes shows just how hard she worked. Her rise to success, outlining her non-traditional ascent to Congress. Defending socialism. Quote, they aren't all my ideas, but they are good ideas. Confirming this conspiracy. Her sarcasm is off the charts.
Free college for all, free healthcare for all, abolish ICE, Green New Deal.
Before we
Yeah.
continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and
The late night shows made a joke about that. Like, if even Fox News can't make it scary, you know it's a lost cause.
on your phone,
You know,
make sure you go
you
into
know
your
it's good when
settings
even
and
Fox
switch on
News can't make it
notifications.
scary. What's number one?
Response to Congressman Yoho. If you didn't already think AOC was a badass before this
Which one was
speech,
this? Because
you
there's been
must
so many
now.
good ones.
Representative Yoho put his
I've seen
finger in
it.
my face. He called me disgusting. He called me crazy. He called me out of my mind. And he called me dangerous.
After reportedly being verbally attacked and cursed at by Representative Ted Yoho outside of their workplace, Ocasio-Cortez took to Congress to give a speech about the dehumanization of such name-calling. She embarked on an epic teardown of the congressman while remaining calm and measured throughout, never stooping to his level.
It is a culture of lack of impunity, of accepting of violence and violent language against women, and an entire structure of power that supports that.
She talked about what truly makes a good man and how she was not raised to put up with this kind of abuse from men in power.
And I am here because I have to show my parents that I am their daughter and that they did not raise me to accept abuse from men.
The video went viral for good reason, because every woman who watched it was surely able to relate and hopefully feel empowered by Ocasio-Cortez's words.
And so what I believe is that having a daughter does not make a man decent. Having a wife does not make a decent man. Treating people with dignity and respect makes a decent man.
Well said. Yep. So yeah, I really hope that she continues the good fight, and like I said before, I honestly think that she is trying to do the right thing, and I honestly wish that there were more people in government like her. And yeah, I honestly think she's a great role model for this country, and love her or hate her, you have to admit she is very, very good. But yeah, I mean, I don't live in New York, so I can't vote for her, but if I did, I would vote for her 100%. Yeah. Like, I don't know if AOC is going to watch this someday, but AOC, you rock. All right, well, that being said, I'm going to end this episode here. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about my latest videos. Thanks again so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Roll the outro!